I'm about to start work, guys, so I just wanted to jump on here real quick live so anybody can ask questions or make comments or be in defense or in lieu of something. So I'm walking to the back of the parking lot away from everybody right now so I can talk in peace and at least give somewhat of a nice scenery or scenario backdrop. Um, I was watching some more stuff that popped up in my feed from plant-based news, and one of them was Dr. Milton Mills was talking about a couple situations that he had where patients had come to his clinic, and the way they set these videos up, and a lot of keto and carnivore YouTubers do the same thing, and I don't necessarily agree with it because it's not that it's clickbait. It's they're trying to pretend something, or they're trying to make it seem like it's the best thing out there with the way people approach videos and things like that. Keto is the best thing out there and carnivore is the best thing out there. That's not necessarily the case. um, a vegan diet can be good for people if they're suffering from chronic conditions and they need to get away from suffering from those chronic conditions. What diet is better than the standard American diet? A vegan diet. A vegan diet is definitely better than a standard American diet. But what's better than a vegan diet? Well, a paleo diet, a Mediterranean diet, a a ketogenic diet, a carnivorous diet. I mean, I don't know how many times I have to get into conversations and debates with people um, to make them realize the sickness that's out there. How many times I've worked with previous vegans that are just failing health wise, that end up in the hospital, end up with chronic skin conditions and mental conditions. There's a girl that talks to me every day now from the carnivore group, and she seems to have a hard time fitting in because her passion and her hatred for what happened to her while she was vegan is consuming her. And I have to constantly remind her to just relax. Relax. You don't have to go after vegans and trash them and stuff all the time because what happened to you. She bought into the whole plant based is the way to go. It's going to fix all your problems. Your brain's going to come back. Your mental clarity and stuff's going to be there. And it never happened. And it made things substantially worse, but she kept feeding it with a vegan diet over and over and over and over again. And she was trying to do everything correct. Well, now, just like Daphne Reloaded, previous vegan that is now carnivore that has changed their life and they're substantially healthier without the conditions, see that there's this brainwashing, there's this I need to create videos to make you feel so bad about eating meat and stuff like that, that they have a hatred for that. It's no longer understanding anymore. It's become a complete hatred for vegans in general because they've lived the life of knowing what it's like to suffer through that recommendation, that mentality, that coaching and stuff that comes from the vegan crowd in general. I just talked to my employer the other day. I said, hey, I'll give you an update on what happened with that Matt Pryor guy from Veg Heads, the restaurant over in the UK that was emailing you. I said, I emailed him back. I told him straight exactly how it was. You're a liar. You contacted my employer. You took something that was private between me and you, and you harassed me in my personal life because I got the best of you. I called you out. You can't just go on people's pages and F this and F that and you psycho this and rapist that and everything else and expect people not to fight back. You can't claim defamation of character because somebody has information on you showing that that is what you're doing. Defamation of character is only if you're lying to get somebody defamed, and that's going to taint their image. But if they're actually doing the act that you're claiming that they're doing, you have no lawsuit. There's nothing that you can do. You're just the idiot that's doing it. Well, him messaging my employer, and then my employer coming to me asking, who's this guy telling me that he wants me to know about what you're doing in your free time? I said, look, man, he's an idiot vegan from the UK. I called him out on some stuff because he went over trashing other people's channels and stuff like that and hurting their business page. So I went on his business page and I said, look, man, you can't do this stuff to people and then cry wolf whenever it happens to you. You go on your private profile thinking that nobody's going to find out you own a vegan restaurant, And don't expect that to follow you to your business life. They're tied together. My private life is not tied to my business life. The vegan mentality and agenda that goes on, how psychotic these vegans can be, and how they just don't use their brain, their mental capacity seems like it's just been flushed down the toilet somewhere, is ridiculous. How do you not think that somebody's going to find out where your business page is as a vegan, as an owner of a restaurant, but go to other doctors' pages and stuff like that that promote a carnivorous, ketogenic diet, a whole food-based diet that just eliminates sugars and starches, but promotes the whole food base behind living and a variety of it, and trash their page and call them all these names and curse them out and stuff. And then when it turns around and the shoe's on the other foot, all of a sudden we're crying wolf now. And we're saying, oh, this is not right. I'm going to call everybody's employer. I'm going to let everybody know what these people are doing to me. I'm so innocent and I haven't done anything wrong. But then my GM looked at me and says, who is this idiot, man? This guy's, he's off his rocker. What's wrong with these vegans? Well, the other day I said, here's the update. I messaged him. I told him he was a liar. I told him what he's doing is illegal. You cannot do that kind of stuff and then turn around and cry wolf and then create a public matter out of something that was private. And then you want to keep threatening me in the process of, oh, I'm going to take you to court. I'm going to contact your employer and I'm going to let them know what you do in your free time and stuff like that. And then you act like you just want to be out of the situation completely and drop it whenever you know somebody's got the best of you. This vegan mentality, this agenda that's driven by an ideology of consuming just nothing but plant matter and grains, you know, things like that, fruits. But then what about the people that have done that? What about the people that have lived that lifestyle honestly, that don't get the help? What about the people like me that can't consume massive amounts of fiber and stuff like that because I caught a condition back in Iraq, a mobayic dysentery, that's kind of stayed with me throughout, destroyed my digestive tract. What about the people like Kayla and stuff like that, previous vegans that can't handle the sugars and stuff that are in foods because the chronic condition still hasn't healed yet, that find the relief and the security and the sense of mental clarity and stuff like that off doing the exact opposite? Are they supposed to just quit? Are they supposed to just live their life in shit because a vegan thinks that that's the way it should be done? I mean, there's not always an answer for everything. A vegan diet is not the answer for every single person. What about these people that are breaking onto private property and stuff like that and stealing the property from these people that own it and then claiming that there should be nothing done about it? That because their ideology of what should be happening in life is what's exactly, they're like tied up in their own little world where everybody should be living in that little world the way they want them to live in complete control. But when you step out of that little world and you see other people don't live like you, now it all becomes anger and hate and harassment and attacking. They claim, they cry wolf whenever they get attacked at these rallies and marches and stuff like that. But when the shoe's on the other foot, they almost want it to be where people don't say and do anything to them. It's, oh my God, it's hands up, don't shoot kind of shit. Whenever it ceases to amaze me. It never ceases to amaze me when I see vegans crying wolf, but they'll go commit the very acts that they cry wolf about. I'm seeing this everywhere. I'm seeing the videos and stuff by these plant-based doctors and plant-based news and stuff like that that try to capture the whole drama behind this person had type 2 diabetes. And oh my God, they had type 2 diabetes and they came to me and they were dying, and I recommended a plant-based diet, and 6 months later, all of a sudden, everything is cured. And the wife's calling and emailing and everything else, like Dr. Milton Mills says. And all of a sudden, they are chronically cured by this. And it's this dramatic, crying, put off, I've changed somebody's life, you're a hero, you've saved this, you've saved that. Well, where's your message? If you're such a professional, any of these doctors, nutritionists, big YouTubers, where's your message to the vegans that are out here getting in the middle of the shit? Where's your message to them when they're out attacking people and breaking onto other people's properties? Where's your message to the vegans that are supposed to represent the vegan crowd, calling up our employers and our private life and affecting that and taking it that much further? Is your ideology and your agenda so bad that you promote a violent, psychotic, uh, this mentally driven state of being, to where people aren't speaking up and saying, hey, where's Joey Carbstrong and Vegan Gains and Prick the Vegan and all these Dr. Milton Mills and Dr. Fartface and all these other guys? Why aren't they saying something? Hey guys, look, you're really tainting the image of what we're trying to stand for here. Why are you getting involved in these people's private lives and attacking them and getting their employers and stuff involved? That's not what we're about. We're supposed to be about peace and nobody dying and really contributing to society in general, but yet you're making people's lives a living hell by doing the things that you're doing. You shouldn't be doing that. Where's all that? None of these people are saying any of that stuff. Where's Freely the Banana Girl standing up for, the very rights of women, the feminist that she is? Where's her coming forward to the forefront and saying, hey ladies, why are you attacking these people and stuff like that? They deserve the same rights as everybody else. They're just not choosing the right diet, per their view. Where are these people at? They're not anywhere, because they don't care. They promote it. They want it to be done. As much chaos that can be stirred up, the more it's controlled chaos. They think that they can control society and scare people into believing that this is something that's conjured up by people that eat meat. This is conjured up by people that don't believe in a vegan diet. This is conjured up by people that have this mental disorder or something like that. And that's not the case at all. I am diagnosed with PTSD, anxiety, and depression. The only way that I've been able to live my life without being on medication and stuff like that is by having ketones present, my brain waking up, and living a life medication-free on the diet that I'm on. But a vegan would come to me and swear against that and tell me that I should be on a vegetable, fruit, and grain-based diet. That so wholeheartedly would be their ideological way of me living, no matter if it made my condition worse or not. They have an answer for everything. It's got to be vegan, or you got to die. You got to be vegan or die. What about the dude that left all the stuff on my page when I was talking about the whole Fair Oaks Farms and stuff like that? What about the guy that came and said, you know what, I feel like I want to go to their farm and I want to stand around and scope everybody out and just kill everybody and their families and stuff like that, just like we would do cows and animals and stuff. Why don't I just grab them by their throat and smack them around, beat the living hell out of them and kill them all? I'm going to kill all those people and stuff. What about the guy that came to my channel and said all that stuff? Where's people speaking up about that? I posted that on social media. I posted that on all the different carnivore groups and stuff like that, so people could see what's being said. I know I said I'd back off on this stuff, but I can't. The reason I can't is because the more I back off, the more I see other people aren't doing their part in speaking up about it. I'm not going to live a life that's controlled by somebody where these doctors, these vegan doctors and nutritionists and stuff like that are out petitioning in front of committees and everything else where no dairy, no milk, no cheese, no none of this stuff. That's my right to consume that if I want. But I'm not going to sit here and let somebody else control my life, because that's their ideological way of doing things. I've lived that life. I've tried a vegan diet I don't know how many times, little, 3-4 week, 5-week periods, just to see how I feel. I even went on a 2-week keto deal where I documented it just to see how I felt. The first week, I lost like 7 pounds, no problem. But once I got to that 7th and 8th day, I started feeling like total trash. I started feeling like I couldn't even wake up. I had no energy and stuff like that. I was throughout the day, I just wasn't me. I wasn't able to go to the gym and hit the gym like I normally would. I had to get off of it. My head was spinning. I was angry and stuff like that. I was just to the point where I was like, this is not working for me. Once you start feeling all those symptoms at one time, after a week, 2 weeks of doing something, something's not right. There's no detoxing phase to get out of that. There's no phase to get out of that and say, this is, I think I can do this. Let me just go another 4 weeks with feeling like I'm about to snap on somebody. That's normal. No. There's no way to push through that. If you're seeing symptoms that quick, you don't adjust to that kind of life. That becomes your life. And if you're a vegan that watches this video and you think that you want to attack me based on what I'm saying right now, you might want to look at yourself to see if you're not the problem. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you eat vegetables for the rest of your life. Just quit telling other people that's what they should be doing too, because that's what you do. Anybody can cure type 2 diabetes and all these other conditions and stuff like that if you start eliminating junk in your life. There are a lot of vegans that actually do a very good job eating a vegan diet. I'm not saying their nutrition's perfect, but there are a lot of them that cut out the Oreos and the junk, the ice creams, the sugars and stuff like that. And they really are focusing on the very principle behind eating a whole food, plant-based diet that is encapsulated with good quality, the best quality nutrition that you can get. And they do okay. I'm not going to lie and say that you know, they're dying. They're not all dying. Some people can get by doing that, but I'm not one of them. I'm not going to be one of them. And I'm not going to be controlled by some idiot calling up my employer, Matt Pryor from Veg Heads, and telling my employer exactly what I'm doing in my free time and stuff like that, because he doesn't like the fact that I eat meat. He doesn't like the fact that I speak the truth. I'm not going to be controlled by anybody that thinks that this is what I should be doing. If I want to go out and slaughter a cow and eat a cow, that's what I'm going to do. If I want to kill a chicken and eat a chicken, that's what I'm going to do. If I want to eat a lamb heart or kidneys or some kind of organ from an animal, that's what I'm going to do. Somebody's not going to stop me from doing that. I've been given that right to do that, and I'm going to so choose to exercise that right if I want to do that. I would hope that you guys watching this video would stand up for what the very right that you've been given. Animals were given to us for food. We've been eating animals from the beginning of time, and we're going to continue eating animals. That's my goal. That's my hope. That's my understanding of how I think we should be living, is predominantly on a animal-based diet. And I would hope more people eventually see that as well. Unfortunately, it's going to be 20, 30, 40 years down the road when the hospitals are full of people that have followed some type of vegan diet, and they're full of malnutrition, and they're on psychotics and statins and everything else, before people realize that is not the answer. The same doctors are the same ones over and over again promoting a plant-based diet, and they don't change. It's the same ones over and over again promoting that. But what happens on the carnivore field, in the keto field, in the low-carb field? We keep getting more and more and more and more doctors popping up all the time that are starting to come forward and say, you know what, I was wrong. I did this for years. I should not have been promoting that. I'm like by this grass right here, and I hear some kind of animal crawling around right down here in the fence. I'll stomp on him and I'll eat him. No, I'm just kidding, I won't. Anyway, we keep having more and more doctors come forward all the time, talking about how the medical field is tainted, how the recommendations are bad, how people don't need to be following these types of diets. New young doctors all the time. And the vegan crowd does not have that. We have the same faces, the same people, stagnant, the same subscribers. Look at Vegan Gains channel. He's been stuck at the same subscribers now for months and months and months with nothing increasing. The guy's channel went down. He was at, what, 345 or 355,000 people. Now he's down 1,000 people. It's not changing. I mean, it's the same people promoting a vegan diet over and over and over again, creating this organized chaos, and that people are starting to believe it's healthier, and that's not the case. I'm not going to be controlled by somebody, and I would hope you would stand up for the same thing too. Exercise your rights. See something, say something, speak up about it. You don't have to trash people, but don't get like some of these vegan idiots that want to call up your employers and get involved with your personal life and stuff like that. If you really feel that threatened by somebody, or if you really feel that physical by somebody, especially me, come find me. Come find me and talk to me about it. If you want to exercise things physically, verbally, come find me. Stay out of my private life. It's none of your business. Next time that happens, and I'm not even completely out of thinking about it yet. I've thought about next week actually calling up an attorney and seeing what can be done about this guy getting involved in my private life like this, just to send out a message and prove a point that you cannot do stuff like that. It's not acceptable. It is not acceptable, and I'm the guy that'll do it. If I say it, I'll follow through with it. I'm not like some of these other YouTubers and stuff like that talk about this stuff and they threaten, and then nothing happens. I will follow through with it. I will take my whole entire paycheck if I have to, which is pretty nice right now, and I'll sit down with an attorney just to review what happens and put out exactly what can be done. You, no matter what your situation is, Unless you're being harassed by somebody and they're tainting the company's image or something like that, you have no business calling up their employer, no matter what it is. None, zero. You don't get people's family involved, none of that stuff. I had a vegan contact my friends on my friends list and start telling them stuff about what I do in my free time. Well, I mean, who does stuff like that? If following a vegan diet does that stuff to people, I don't think anybody should be on a vegan diet. And if you're a vegan watching this video, what do you think about that? Would you ever get involved in somebody's private life that has nothing to do with the situation? Would you contact people's family members and say this person's the worst person in the world because they eat a steak for dinner? Would you do that? Let me know. All right, I'm going to go to work. That's my thoughts today, guys. Things are getting out of control lately. A lot of videos popping up that want to draw the drama and attention and trying to make it seem like this vegan diet is changing people's lives, but there's no proof of it. All we hear is stories. Where are these people at then? Second of all, you won't control me. You're not going to tell me what to eat and how to live my life. I'm going to do that, and you guys should have that same right too. Stand up for yourself. See something, say something, do something. Y'all be blessed. Take care. Have a great day.